Hi guys, welcome back to Sisters Corner. I'm Alero.
I'm Olly. Hi guys.
And today we are bringing to you season 12 of Married at First Sight, episode 9 review.
Child.
I feel like I need to inhale.
Oh my god. I think now we're beginning to see how the couples adjusting to married life. I think that's more or less what this episode is about.
Exactly, yeah. So this episode, the main correlation with all the couples is that the experts sent them some type of love questions, which is supposed to help them dig deeper.
I felt like it was the same question though. Like
I think everyone had the same question. So it was meant to make them dig deeper into love and have that profound, deep conversation. So let's start off with Virginia and Eric. What did you think of them this episode?
I was in love with Virginia and Eric this episode.
Really?
Jenny, my girl, it's so funny that
she always has a drink in her hand.
Well, she always
occasion.
Now that doesn't even face me anymore. I barely noticed that, so that's like whatever. But I was really proud of them this episode. I think it's so funny that as we've said so many times, Paige and Chris have taken the attention away from the other couple that maybe we haven't had a chance to see how they've grown as a couple. Yeah. But in this episode, I thought Virginia and Eric came across fantastic, and I was like, where is all of this coming from? Like the whole "I love you." I actually believe them. Like I actually felt like I was watching a romantic movie.
Really?
Yeah, I did. You know, when he took it to the apartment and the whole setting and the
that was cute. Like
that was so cute.
Eric's got some moves. Eric's got some. So in this episode with Virginia and Eric, they've both been really, really busy with work, so they decided to go golfing and spend time together. But one thing that I wanted to bring out was because Eric has been away most of the time this week, because I think he started piloting, flying. But
I wonder what kind of a pilot is. I don't think he's like American Airlines them lot.
Because I was like, where is he flying to?
I was a bit intrigued by that, but I guess that's not.
So Virginia was complaining that the communication was scarce, that she got a text here and there.
Isn't it funny how that has switched since last week? Because wasn't he?
So I was a bit confused because I was like, so who is really insistent on communication in this relationship? Because previously we thought it was Eric with the whole, you need to text me, check in every 2 hours. And then here in this episode, Virginia is now complaining that she just got a text here and there. So, but for me, it felt like a double standard because it felt like Eric wants to keep tabs on her.
Right.
And he doesn't want any tabs to be kept on him. Because when she broached the subject, he was like,
oh, but that's my job.
That's my job. That's how it is. Like,
right, I see what you're saying.
So I was kind of like, is it a case of, she's the woman and I want to keep tabs on her and I'm going to do me and you just have to accept it?
So I don't think it's the case of she's a woman, I want to keep tabs on her. I think it's more of Eric being Eric and thinking, oh, I know how this works. I've been married before, I'm gonna show you the ropes, I'm the man in this relationship and what I say is goes, right? So I don't think it's necessarily it's a case of it's a woman. I think it's more or less that he doesn't drinking and the fact that he doesn't think she understands what marriage is. I feel like it's like, oh, I'm showing you the ropes, so I'm the one I'll be keeping tabs on you, right? Rather than, you should not keep tabs on me. I know what I'm doing. I'm not gonna do anything wrong, right?
Right.
Does that make sense? But that's psychology, I guess.
Yeah, I totally get what you mean, but it just felt a bit weird because you're so insistent on communication, right? So I would have expected that what you expect of her, you are also doing the same
100%,
thing, 100%.
100%. So it's like, sometimes how, I don't want to really say, but African parents are like, oh, mostly in African family relationship.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Yes. Thank you. That's now you hit it. That's the vibe I get. That's the vibe I get from Eric. Are you African? Yeah.
The next scene we see of them is they now have the love question, and this is what I even want to talk about because it kind of confused me. And so their love question was, what does love mean to you and what does love feel like? And I don't really know what Eric was saying. I think he was saying love feels amazing when I feel like this, when I feel like that.
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
he was talking about the last time I loved was my ex-wife.
That's what I wanted to
Yeah, when I don't get that feeling, then I'm like, oh, it's a scrap. I was like, no, you're a scrap.
But what I wanted to pick up on was that he said, you know, in the initial episode, when he talked about being married,
made the marriage look like it was just a piece of paper. Like, I did not. That was
So for me, I was a bit confused because I was like, was this a real marriage then? Because you made it sound like you only got married to her so she can stay in the country. Oh no, sorry, so that she can stay on base, right? But then during the love questions or love game with Virginia,
like top tier love,
he was like, she's like, I compare every girl after her to her. She was like my greatest love. I've never been in love since her.
That was.
So I was like,
bruh,
you were married, like,
yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah, so it was what's the word I'm looking for? It was definitely
he underplayed
it. Really underplayed that marriage, because
and then
that was not the understanding.
If I was Virginia, it would make me question, you're a liar.
Yeah,
you're actually a liar because you underplayed it.
Right,
you made it seem like there was no emotions, there was no feelings attached, and this is something you were doing as a favor to your friend,
right,
so that she can stay on base. But now you're telling me that you genuinely loved her and she was the greatest.
I don't think it was so that she can stay on base.
No, he said in the initial episode, I'm sure.
No, but I think it's so that she can be coming to have sex with him on base though. That's what she said. Is that what he said? So she can be having sex. Yeah. Whatever. You can't have conjugal visa if like
you're not married.
Yeah. That's what it was.
Well, either way,
this understanding I got it from somewhere else online though. Maybe I'm mixing some things up, but
either way, whether it was so she could be coming to base to have sex with, he underplayed the severity of the relationship.
Underplayed it. I definitely agree with that.
Something that I also want to bring up was when Virginia was now revealing, this is the most vulnerable
she's ever been.
Yeah, we've seen her on camera.
Like, oh no.
Yeah. So she, like you said, she was now revealing that she's never seen what a healthy marriage is supposed to be like.
Yeah.
Do you understand? She's never had that example. Like everywhere she's looked, marriages have always been falling apart. Like so for her, she has this fear and anxiety towards commitment. And she said during this time is when she usually bails. Like when things start getting serious is when she usually bails. And I appreciate her for being vulnerable. What I didn't appreciate was Eric cutting her off every time she tried to be vulnerable. And you know, when she was explaining herself and he was like, but this is a marriage. And I'm like, let the girl speak and let her pour her heart out.
I know.
It's kind of, he's Mr. Know-It-all, right?
Yeah, that's the biggest problem that Eric had. He feels the need even more than ever to be the driver of the relationship. Because like, you know nothing, I know everything. I've done this before. I'm gonna show you the ropes, right?
You're so perfect. Your other marriage wouldn't have ended, dummy. Anyways.
So that's what I thought about them. I thought she had a very good question that I actually noted down. So she asked him a question that said, did the feeling come because we're married?
Okay, so this is after the love question. Eric decides to be romantic. He cooked her dinner at his condo and invites her over. And there, you know, she's expressing more feelings that, you know, I have anxiety knowing that your ex was your greatest love. And then Eric is now trying to console her. That's what I feel. He's trying to console her and saying, you know, I haven't had any type of feelings for anyone until you came along, and I have so much feelings for you. That's when she asked that question, and I was like, Virginia, you are actually smart.
She's smarter.
You are actually smart.
She is on the G.
Because that is what I was thinking as well.
Question. Yeah. That was such a fantastic question, because I know it's like, yes, you need to ask him this, that are you really sure this is what you want, or it's because we're married that, you know.
And he hesitated.
Yeah, he
hesitated for like a second.
Yeah, he did. And then
what did he say? He was like,
he didn't have a good. He didn't even have a good comeback to that. He didn't. So
I mean,
yeah.
Anyways, to cap it off with them, he finally plays her the guitar, and then that's when he really reveals to her, I love you. She didn't even let him finish. And
like,
she pounced on him. I love you too. And you know they were gonna do the nasty that night.
Yeah, the camera people are creepy. Did you see like the angle that went from like on the floor? I was like, because
they were now laying on the sofa.
Yeah, they were laying on the sofa bed. I was like, Another thing I noted was that after I watched the whole episode, I was like, how is Eric and Jeannie looking like the most stable couple on the show? Can we talk about that? How?
Definitely. But I do think she needs an AA meeting, like that drinking. Fair enough.
I noted in my note that May, I am learning so much about how to mix my drink, because she was talking about mimosa and the proportion of mimosa that needs to be in the champagne. I am learning so much.
So it was so funny. You know, Virginia is never far away from a drink. So she's making a mimosa and she asked Eric what's the right proportion, and Eric was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And she was like, half and half. And he was like, what do you do? And she was like, well, just a splash of OJ is usually what I do.
I was like, that sounds like you're having champagne, man.
That's champagne. That's not a mimosa. Julie makes me laugh. We move on to Jacob and Haley.
They sound like they should have, like, you know, those 90s sitcom, like, they sound like they should be something like that, because they're just train wreck.
I feel sorry for Jacob.
I do.
I feel sorry.
My first note is Haley is not attracted to Jacob. I have to keep saying this every week, guys. I don't know what else to say. And
okay, the scene first opens with Haley having a girl talk with her friends that were at the housewarming, and that her friend Lauren or whatever her name is.
I love her.
She's so, really smart.
No, those are the friends you need in
this circle, right? So in this scene, we realize that Haley admits to Jacob that she's not physically attracted to him, and they do a flashback
of the night before.
And
I was so proud of them, because it's never easy telling someone you're not attracted to them, and it's also
she wouldn't have told him if Jacob hadn't asked outright.
Yeah,
that's what I love about him.
Yeah, but it's also not easy saying it either way.
It's not.
When you're not feeling someone and the stakes are this high.
Yeah,
I don't think it could have been easy voicing out.
Definitely,
you don't like someone, and I thought they handled that conversation a bit well. We'll
go into it later. So she proceeds to tell her friends that, you know, when she was walking down the aisle, she was half and half. When she saw him, she was like, okay, he's not unattractive, but he's not attractive either. Right. But then the whole issue that happened with Vegas, where
she went from like
her,
I'm 0 to like -10.
Exactly. Right? So then the friend now asked her, like, do you see yourself actually cultivating feelings for this guy? Do you see it going from like to love without physical attraction? We never got an answer to that, because it now jumps to the next scene.
She was silent. She was silent. Yeah, she didn't have.
And the answer is no.
To say. Yeah.
So in the next scene, she comes home to Jacob and she has a care package for him. And what is it?
And that's good. She's trying a few shirts, jean shirts and t-shirts, and yeah, she got him a few things, and she was like, oh, you know, Jacob, go in and do a little show for me.
Yeah, he did a fashion show.
And he did a fashion show.
I'm confused because so far from what I've seen of Jacob, the way he dresses, I don't think he dresses like he's stuck in the 80s. Like
that jeans with a flat at the bottom.
The jeans is not, it's just wide legs. Not everybody has to wear skinny jeans. Not every man want to wear skinny jeans.
Yeah, but can you not do straight cut?
It is straight cut. It's just that it's not flared. It's not flared. It's boot cut. It's boot cut. That's what it is.
And the apple bottom jeans.
It's weird because I don't think, okay, if he was like wearing a mullet, neon pink, leg warmers, then we will say he's stuck in the 80s. But he's not dressing. I don't think his dress sense is that bad. Anyways, he did the fashion show.
I think, obviously, you might think it's not that bad, right? But it could be something that she's not attracted to. So, based on the advice that a friend gave her last week, that, he's just dressing bad. She's acting upon that. She's saying, okay, how can I dress you up to make you look more appealing to me? You know what? So, that's how I kind of took it.
I had mixed feelings about it because the reason why I have mixed feelings about it is because this is off the bat of you telling somebody you're not attracted to them. You're physically not attracted to them. And then you now buy them clothes. It's kind of like you're trying to build your perfect man. Right. Do you understand? It's different from like, you're already attracted to the person and, I came across these shirts that I thought you would like, or I thought would look nice on you, and blah, 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 blah. And the reason why I kind of felt like it was a bit disrespectful is because, so when he now removes that clothes, is the unattraction now going to come back? Or if you're walking down the street and a better man who's dressed better walks past, is the attraction you now supposedly feel for Jacob, is that going to diminish? Is that just going to evaporate?
Right.
So it felt like, okay, let me give you another context.
Right.
If Chris, after telling Paige that he's unattracted to her, now goes ahead and buys her bone straight wig.
Right.
How would you feel about that?
So I would feel some type of way about that. That makes sense.
That's exactly what Hailey did.
But with the Jacob and Ailey thing, right? So I feel like if Ailey is damned if she does, she's damned if she doesn't. That's what it is right now, right? So if after all this advice, right, she's actually proactively trying to do something to build this relationship. And I think what you said about him taking up the clothes and she going back is, I think that's not what the point of this is. It's like, okay, I'm trying to dress you up and show you that I am trying. I want to be more attracted to you, right? One thing I noted was that I really did not appreciate the way after Jacob changed the clothes and he got back to his normal and he brought up the attraction thing again, I felt like he should have been in the moment and said, oh, thank you so much, I really appreciate you thinking about me and bringing stuff up. But you went back right to the attraction conversation. So from your perspective, I can see why he went back to the attraction conversation. But from me, I was like, oh, but she's trying to do.
It's difficult when somebody has said they're not attracted to you, then they buy you clothes.
Yeah,
it's kind of like,
I see what you're saying.
Because it's different from, okay, you know, where we might not be lovey-dovey, but I just saw something that I thought you would like, as opposed to I'm now trying to build that attraction for you.
So she also would know, as she's 28, that you cannot base the marriage off what someone is wearing. They would have to get naked at some point. You know, that's gonna be a struggle. You know what I mean? God. So I think it was just her trying to like get in the groove of things again, because she is shut down. So she's trying to even open the wall back up, and even the clothing thing, the whole scenario of dress up for me, it could have been like a playful, like, let's even just, it's trying to kickstart it again. That's how I kind of see it.
Anyways, what do you guys think?
Yeah, what do you guys think?
Do you think it was a genuine gesture, or do you think it was disrespectful and insulting? Let us know, because we can't agree on this.
Comment down below.
So what I realized about Jacob throughout my analysis of him from episode 1 is I realized that Jacob is a logical, analytical person and solution oriented. So when he sees a problem,
he goes into like a database
solutioning. Right, exactly.
So I need an output to this input that you've given me.
So for him, he sees the problem of, okay, you're not attracted to me. What can we do about that to build the attraction up? Do you understand?
Right.
Because one minute you say that you want to do it, but the next minute you're not even spending time with me.
Right.
You're not spending time with me. Like, you keep running off, like in Vegas. Last night you ran off to spend time with Paige.
Paige was looking for something.
He's like, I'm like, is that the person you should be?
If you want, like, you know, let's say if you want to like grow up to be something, you go to people that are already doing those things, right? So that you can learn from them. I was like, we know the direction you want to go in this marriage, you know, because you left the Briannas and
and then you went straight to Paige. So I completely agree. Like, in your confessional, she was really frustrated. Like, why do you keep going back to this attraction thing? Like, we were just having a nice moment, living it. And what I have to say is that when you're with someone that's very solution oriented, it's difficult for them to leave that. They're so fixated on the solution to the problem. They're not going to be able to move on until they've resolved that problem. And what Jacob needs to realize, and I think towards the end he realized when he was speaking to Eric, is that with when you're dealing with a human being, when you're dealing with emotions, you can't solution it. There is no 1 + 1 = 2. There is no when we spend enough time together, the feelings are going to come. Even if she spends enough time with you, if the attraction is not there, the attraction is not there. And I think when he now spoke to Eric and said, I've tried all I can do and her guard is still up, I'm just going to leave it and let her develop that feelings herself. So it's, from Hailey's perspective, I completely get it, because my husband's solution oriented, and when he asked me like, okay, like, how do we resolve this, and I'm like, oh, just give me some time, which is what Hailey was saying. But for someone like Eric, for someone like Jacob, he's like, what do you mean time? So when you say time, do you mean 1 week? Do you mean 2 weeks? Do you mean 4 weeks? Like, they're so fixated like that. They want to break everything down into its granular.
Right. One other thing I noted is that, so I think because I kind of understand Ailey, right? One thing I noted is that I think Jacob is his own worst enemy. I think he's too in his head. Just as you said, I think he's that solution-oriented stuff, and she's not. So he's always in her face about having conversations. Jacob really needs to loosen up. He really, really needs to loosen up. Well,
having said that, he tried. He hosted a pool party for her. We finally see Jacob's house, that backyard. House. To give me Jacob's backyard, his sauna, and Eric's condo. I'm good for quarantine. Yeah. So anyways, he hosted a pool party. Yeah. All the other couples came, apart from obviously Chris and
Paige
and Vincent.
Oh, Vincent, only Brianna came.
You notice that Vincent never comes to like group gatherings? Yeah, like, what is he doing? Doesn't. Maybe Brianna's like, I can't take you anywhere. I'm not even gonna repeat what she said.
Don't repeat it.
So he was then trying to loosen up, and after the pool party, they went on a date. They got crabfish or shellfish or whatever.
Oh, they did?
And they were cracking jokes, right? Okay, let's do Ryan and Clara.
Guys, so like, I was really, I was rooting for this couple, this episode. Like, guys, it was a mess. When I tell you a mess, it was a mess. The best part of this episode, sorry, I have to be the one, was when Ryan took Clara out, like, to do something that she likes to do, because that's how she likes to be loved. She's someone that acts of service and giving up gift, right? So Ryan took her out because she has a sweet tooth. He took her out to a donut shop, and they were
candlelit donut dinner.
Yeah, candlelit donut dinner, and they had like this mountain of donut before them, different flavors and whatnot.
And my girl
she was eating it. I was so jealous because I was like, girl, how do you look that skinny and you're eating all this donut?
But did you see the way he was looking at her, the way she was like,
yeah, he was looking at her because he was like, oh, you know, he didn't eat
broccoli.
Yeah, because you could see that it was cringing with every bite. Every bite was a struggle for him because it was like, this is ruining my body. I can't do this no way. You can sense it. But she was lapping it up. She was like making love to the donut straight up. And after they had the donut, I felt like Ryan thought that I'll give you a gift that I like. Let me take you like a little bit into my world. You know, let's just give you a little dab of who Ryan is. And Ryan went into this old speech about what drives him.
He was like, first of all, he was like, what motivates you? Yeah. She was like, well, if you're talking about what motivates me to go to work, I need to pay my bills. And then he was like, internal drive. Have you ever thought about it? She was like, not really.
Not really. And then he went into what motivates him.
He was talking and I'm convinced he spoke for about 45 minutes on what motivates him and what drives him and what's his why. And then because the pile of donut, by the time he was done, went from a pile of donut to like two. Yeah. So then she was like, oh my God, I feel like I came for a motivational seminar. Come for this self-help and you'll get free donuts.
She was just there for the donuts.
And Ryan was not happy. He was seething with rage.
You can see that she really crushed them with that. He's what's the word?
He's very deep. He's very purpose driven.
Yeah,
and these are things.
Surface, and he's like
very
down there.
And to be honest, this is something that when I've been on dates, I've had on the first date. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Yeah.
What's your purpose? These are questions that you would have. I would ask on first dates. Right. So even though he was kind of long-winded, I had mixed feelings because I was like, okay, Ryan, time and place. This is meant to be romantic, but at the same time, he's trying to get deeper with her, right?
It was trying to open up,
and this was an opportunity for her to be closer to her husband.
That's what I was gonna say.
What drives him?
That's what I was gonna say.
If she had been receptive, they would have gone home that night, and she would have cracked her back.
That's exactly what I'm saying. you have to make love to Ryan intellectually before you're gonna get to make Ryan make love to him physically. Yeah. And she doesn't seem to understand that. Yeah. And that is never gonna, after that night, like it's a scrap. You're not.
He was like, well,
not gonna happen.
It was gonna happen like in 2 weeks, but now you're back to
you're back to like
zero.
Like 2 months or 3 months. I don't know.
Yeah. With Ryan and Clara, we're beginning to see fundamental differences. Because when you're talking about purpose and you're somebody that believes in purpose and you know, I want us to build together, I want us to be a power couple, I want us to achieve things together, and the other person is kind of like, oh yeah, like, it is what it is. It's so difficult to carry them along. So, like you said, you summed it up very well. You need to make love to Ryan's mind. Like he's sapiosexual.
That's what my dad said.
Yeah, he's sapiosexual. That's who he is.
Yeah, he's sapiosexual.
I was like, after that night, Clara, this is the closest you're getting to a D.
She could have at least just try and like. Just something, make up some jargon.
Girl, you could have strung two sentences together.
Yeah, anything. She could have said anything and she'd be like, but yeah, I really love that. And I you know, from there she could have even used style, you know, one style and use it to drive her back to sex and be like,
all she needed to say is sex drives me, Ryan. Sex is the D is what drives me. You give me good D and I will be the other half of your power couple. Exactly. That's what she needed to say.
Exactly. She could have said anything. She could have, like, I felt like it was an opportunity for them to really get to know each other deeper, right? She's not mentally involved in conversations, and that, as you said, that we're beginning to see the gap between them. That is gonna be a big bone of contention moving forward.
It really, really is.
I don't know if Clara is the one for him and him.
Oh, did you see the part in the beginning when they were doing? So the scene opens with them doing arts and crafts. And you know, she was like, when she's frustrated, and we can see that she's frustrated, but she likes to
never picks up on any of the signals.
She likes to do crafts and all that, and I'm like, damn, their house is gonna be filled.
But did you see how perfect the mug was for someone that has not been?
Because he's a perfectionist, and he said that no matter what he does, whether it's knitting, it's whatever it is, he likes it to be perfect. And I was like, you're kind of like getting like it's not that deep. Right. Do you understand? Right. But that's not even what I want to get to. It's when she now asks, okay, where are we gonna put my craft stuff? And he was like, he said in the garage. And y'all know that we put things that we don't want in the garage.
Yeah, why did you say that?
She was upset.
I had to like go back like 20 seconds. I was like,
You didn't even try.
You did
She was upset. She was like, because I'm in this with the commitment and I don't know if right. I was like, girl, when he told you your stuff's going in the garage.
You're so trash.
We put the trash stuff in the garage.
We definitely begin to see the cracks in this relationship, and I think we said this about 2 weeks ago. That this relationship is was one of those things that it's either gonna really swing the other way or it's gonna deteriorate pretty fast. And I think they're unraveling pretty quickly.
You know what?
Yeah.
I think either way, they're going to make it. They're going to stay together. And this is why, not because they're compatible, not because they love each other, not because they're on the same page, but because Ryan is a perfectionist who doesn't like to fail at anything. One, he's a perfectionist who doesn't like to fail at anything. He's already told us multiple times that whatever he does, he likes to succeed. Secondly, he's a pastor's son.
Oh, his dad is a pastor?
Yeah, his dad is a pastor.
Oh, I missed that.
Do you understand?
Well, that makes sense why... He doesn't want to have sex. Nobody wants to have sex when you're a PK.
He's a PK. He's a PK. Yeah. All right.
We'll find it. So the couple we're going to be talking about is Brie and Vincent. Brie and Vinny.
It was going so well. With them, we get into, the love question.
I only have one thing to say about them, but yeah, go on.
So we get into the love question, and their question is, how will you know you are in love? And then Brianna said that she's somebody that's always nitpicking, and she points out flaws. Like when she sees your flaws, she'll point them out and point them out and point them. And we all know that. And she says that when she gets to the point where she no longer points out your flaws but accepts it wholeheartedly, that's when she knows.
I thought that was a good definition.
So now says that, he's definitely, like, he knows he's in love when he can't stop thinking about the person, and like Brianna, he accepts that person wholeheartedly. They now say, then Vincent is like, okay, I feel like, we've been doing good, and I see us using the L word real soon. And then Brianna in her baby voice was like, but I love you now. I'm growing in love.
I believe
with
Ginny
you.
and Eric's
is more stable than Brianna and
Brandon.
Vincent. But for me, it was kind of weird that, you know, her definition of love is that she no longer nitpicks.
Right.
Because how many days ago you were just taking a jab at him, then like 2 days later you're in love. Like, I don't understand it.
Yeah.
And then another thing that I wanted to pick out is this is a recipe for disaster. I don't believe her when she says that when you accept that person wholeheartedly. Yeah, you accept that person wholeheartedly, but she's still gonna point out your flaws.
Yeah,
she's still gonna point out your flaws,
yeah.
whether she loves you or not.
Right.
That's what I think about her. And I feel like when you have somebody who is so, I don't even know the word for it, constantly points out your flaw, and then you now marry them with Mr. Sensitivity. Ultra sensitivity is a recipe for disaster. He did something romantic where their mum got them a board, and then he decides to use that board to teach her Spanish. So every day he's gonna have like 4 Spanish words.
That's good.
Yeah, with she can.
Good.
And I'm like, they need to be showing this every episode so I can learn Spanish as well.
I know te amo. I didn't know that she didn't know that.
I knew from that song, te amo, te amo.
Who sang that again?
I think it's Rihanna. She said to me.
Oh
Yeah.
I was gonna say it was Enrique Iglesias then.
So one of the words was biciclete. Bicycle anyways.
Oh, I thought it was a biscuit. I actually thought it was biscuit. I'm just going
Now comes in with a bicycle, which was really thoughtful because we now have a flashback to when she was saying
to
that
be
she
honest,
wanted a bike.
I remember she said something like that, but I didn't even pick up on it. So
This was on the wedding day. She revealed that she wanted a bike.
Good job.
So it shows that he has a listening ear, and he was like, you know, because he's an outdoor person, so it's something that he would love them to do together, and he's gonna buy a basket for her dog as well. So that was all cute. That was the calm before the storm.
The calm
before the storm.
I can see.
All right, do you want to talk about?
So afterwards, obviously, I think coming off the nice gesture that he made getting on a bicycle, she thought, oh, let's go for like a dance lesson.
She wanted to reciprocate.
She wanted to reciprocate, which I thought, oh wow, cute. And then in the back interview that they were doing, Vincent was talking about the fact that, oh, I love to dance. I was like, oh, look at this. And she also said, I'm a dancer. I was like, match made in heaven. What could go wrong? Nothing. We're gonna love this. Let's do this. So they got to the dancing studio, and it was salsa, right?
Yeah, it was salsa.
They got to the studio, they had their instructor there, and guys, I am still reeling off that girl looking like a glass of wine in that dress. She looks so, I wrote it down, saying, Brandon looks sexy. She did. She looked good. So sis was looking good. I was like, brother, even if you don't know how to do the salsa dance, just hold your woman close, you know. Just be like, just be touching everywhere. She's all yours, you know. Let's not worry about what could happen around here. But then when they start doing the 1, 2, 3,
left to right, you didn't know his left from his right.
Okay, so I laugh, right? But I cannot dance. But I am never afraid to laugh at myself. Like I am never afraid to laugh at myself. I think like the world, I don't take myself too seriously. Like if anybody comments and they say, oh, you whatever, I don't care. Like I'm just gonna do me at the end of the day. But bruh, it made Vincent was getting the steps wrong. He was getting agitated. It was just showing down. And then I feel like maybe it was chafing because
so he wore a shirt, a dress shirt, right? And it's weird because he was like, oh, I wore my shirt, I'm sweating. And I can understand that because studio light, you've got the studio light, you've got the film crew light. It's Atlanta, it's hot. You're wearing a full dress shirt with a long sleeve and everything, and there's a big guy.
Right.
So he was sweating, and I think that was adding to his irritation and frustration. But a normal person would be like, girl, you got me sweating like a Christmas doll. Do you understand?
Just
like,
laugh at yourself. Don't take
it
it too seriously. Nope. That's not what he ain't gonna do. That's how it was just beginning to like shut down. She was even like just pulling them, like she literally was holding the relationship by a thread throughout that dance. Like
he was saying that salsa is not his thing, that if she had gotten bachata or whatever it is, again I probably mispronounced it, that you know he would have come in swinging.
But then the point of doing this wasn't for you to come and be suave and sexy or anything. It's for you guys to both learn, right? I think Alero mentioned this way before, and I was like, oh, maybe it's I was making excuses for him, because I was like, oh, maybe it's the camera, maybe it's the editing, maybe there was things that she does behind the scene, and the jab, a little thing just set him off. But now I just see that, bro, you're just sensitive. You can't take a joke. So you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna just match around you, like an ant around the sugar.
Right. So the psychologist in me,
okay, mama,
is Vincent is constantly chasing perfection, and anytime anything doesn't align with that perfection, or he feels like he's about to embarrass himself, or he feels like she's coming off better than him, he completely starts to shut down and lash out. He was actually seething with rage at that.
Yeah, he was. You can see him
in the confessional. He was like, "This is BS. This is that." And then with the whole interaction. That was a visual representation of Brianna walking on eggshells, because it wasn't her heels that was hurting. She was like, as he was walking off,
tiptoeing around them.
As he was walking off, she was literally,
yeah, she really was. No,
tiptoeing. And I was like, it wasn't the heels, girl. It wasn't the heels that was hurting her.
Because you were dancing in them heels.
Yeah,
you were fine.
This is becoming a toxic pattern.
Yeah,
where they start off nice, and towards the end he explodes. He is a ticking time bomb waiting to go off, and we haven't even begun to scratch the surface. Remember last week I said that the champagne stuff was trivial? Right. This is salsa. This was meant to be romantic. This was meant to be fun. Fair enough. You're not supposed to like everything. There are some dates that go well, some dates that don't. But one thing that he mentioned to Brianna a couple of episodes back was that it's not what you say, it's how you say things. So even if he didn't like the salsa class, he didn't enjoy it, he could have been like, babe,
this is not for me.
Salsa ain't my thing. I appreciate you. I
remember.
But salsa is not my thing. It's not my thing. You did not need to throw your toys out of the pram. Like that's what he did.
It literally
he was a child.
It was a child.
And then the whole interaction of her, are you okay? She was mothering him. Yeah, that is not your role.
That's not
You're his wife, not his mother.
Yeah, that's true.
He's a 28-year-old man?
He is a 28-year-old
and you need to be there to be pulling that. Are you okay? Did you enjoy it? Did you?
Yeah, are you okay?
Are you okay?
And should I even touch you?
Can I even touch you?
Are you gonna be triggered?
I'm scared for Brianna because
it's gonna be a lot of work.
It's not even that. This is the onset of emotional abuse. And the more, if Vincent doesn't deal with whatever's making him scared of being less than perfect, I feel like Brianna very soon is going to start dimming her light to allow him to shine. Do you understand? Right. Do you think he's intimidated by Brianna?
It's possible.
Because this constant need to impress her, and then when it doesn't go according to plan.
Sometimes when you're around someone that feels so well put together, you start to question yourself. So you could be onto something there.
There's just traits in him that's very scary.
Yeah.
And then another thing that I was gonna say is with the way he lashes out, I felt like if the cameras were not there, very soon he's gonna start.
Oh, you think? Oh.
I really hope not, because domestic violence is not even anything to joke about. But I'm just it starts off, because even people in domestic violence, it starts off with, he shouts at you. It starts off with something small and minute. And then it grows into him using your face as a punching bag. Which I hope it doesn't happen, but I don't know, he scares me. He scares me.
Yeah, there's something about him too. I don't know. It really needs to go work on that. It doesn't come off well. It doesn't. It doesn't come off well, and it doesn't bode well for their relationship.
So guys, that brings us to the end of this episode.
We've decided, as much as I don't even want to talk about this couple, because I know you guys are like, wait, y'all ain't gonna talk about Chris and Paige? You're really serious? We're just gonna do a little bit of a side show for them.
Tune into our next video for Chris and Paige, aka Dumb and Dumber. I said what I said.
Dumber.
So we would love to hear from you, like we said in this episode. Comment down below your thoughts, what you think of the couple so far. And also make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. It looks, and we'll see you guys in our next video. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.